Yeah, animal movies. And then, cause cats and dogs.
Okay, hold on. Wait, did we just start recording?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how
Hey,
it
Max.
works. Max, we're doing animal podcast.
Doing animal movie themed podcast.
Okay, so we started with cats and dogs, right? We started with cats and dogs. I think that was a good. I think that was a good
I
starting
just
point.
need like a minute to rest first
Yeah.
after Marmaduke.
Okay.
Cause there's just so much at play.
Okay, cause
I can't
The
believe
thing
that.
is-
That was 80 minutes long.
I know.
okay.
What the fuck? I didn't see. I was not prepared.
What if they could dance?
Not even that. Just that whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm speechless. It's like,
Should we start with cats and dogs though?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we should.
Okay, so cats and dogs.
Well, all right.
Loser.
First context: we've been marathoning 3 animal-themed movies, like live-action animal movies where their mouths move and stuff.
It's fucking gross and weird.
They're weird, because and I think Cats and Dogs was like the epitome of just like the worst animal directing.
So
Cause
fucking bad.
they tried to emphasize like their emotions and shit, and then it just like zoomed in on their faces, just like
there's
fucking dogs.
Oh,
This
and
wasn't
it
a
also
puppet.
didn't work because they were supposed to be like secret agents and stuff, but like most of the dogs were just like, what's this?
Yeah.
Oh, over here?
Oh yeah, and okay, so Cats and Dogs was like this live action movie and about secret agents.
No, just secret agent
Or
dogs. All
secret
the cats
agent
were
dogs
retarded or ninjas.
versus
Yeah.
cats. Also, I think that was the same director as Son of the Mask.
That would make a lot of sense.
So
It kind of had that
Just-
vibe to it.
yeah.
Actually,
It had a Son of the Mask vibe.
did
it
because
did,
there's
though.
no Jim Carrey.
Because there's no okay.
But Cats and Dogs, I think, was like the best one to open on.
Yeah.
Just because like
It
if we had
introduced
gone
the
from
concept.
Russell Madness or Marmaduke to Cats and Dogs, we would have just been like
we would have lost momentum.
we would have just been like, well, I'm just done here. It just escalated.
Yeah,
Really.
because that was like the perfect slope upwards.
Cause like that happened, and then Russell like
Marmaduke. I'm sorry.
Cause like
fuck.
Cause like the thing is
Holy shit.
Cause like the thing is,
Holy
Cats and Dogs is like, okay,
shit.
I could see a kid liking this. You know, it's about like secret agent
Yeah,
dogs.
I
like
haven't
it's
DVD,
Yeah,
watched it
it's
all the time.
actually like
But
the
a kid- but a
concept
kid-
has.
because like it's kind of like Toy Story, where it's like
Like
just normal stuff, and then it's like your normal like life, and then it's just like there's like that secret thing behind it.
Because like I think like that concept has a lot of like good like potential.
well, they made a
behind
second
it.
one.
Yeah.
Well, they did.
Nine
Okay.
9 years later.
But
I
as a
haven't seen
live
it.
action, I don't think it should have been a live action film. I think.
No, I don't think it should have.
It would have been better as like a Brad Bird style like cartoon from the 90s.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool.
Yeah. And then Russell Madness, I think was like, it was like.
Well, hold on.
It's-
Let's discuss. I fell asleep during the ending of Cats and Dogs.
Yeah, you did.
But
He just drags the dog's corpse out of the factory. Like,
No.
he holds it up
Wait.
like-
When did you fall asleep?
I fell asleep like right
Oh,
when.
spoilers for Cats and Dogs, by the way.
Okay, I fell asleep right when Jeff Goldblum was like, "Where am I?"
Okay,
Where did I go?
So, okay, so you missed like one of the greatest lines in the whole movie, which was after the cat reveals himself to Jeff Goldblum and his family, the wife screams for about a minute, and it cuts away for a second, and then it cuts back, and she's still screaming, and the kid looks over and goes, "Cool."
And then the kid looks at the cats and he's like, "Are you from the moon?" Because I read in a comic book once, and then the cat immediately replies with, "You disgust me," because he reads comic books.
And as a child, it's awesome.
I like vaguely remember that from like being half asleep,
Yeah, and then
or not even half asleep, like 90% asleep.
Yeah, and then
Like it leaked into my dream.
they did.
Okay, but let's just start from the beginning of Cats and Dogs. So, we start out colorful suburban neighborhood, not really suburban, just like
It was, I'd say.
urbanish, more urban than
Yeah,
it is
it
suburban.
had like fences. And
So
stuff.
so colorful, really oversaturated color correction urban neighborhood. We have a cat and a dog chasing each other around, like hitting things, and it's weird.
And then
like,
they don't talk
yeah,
ever.
they don't talk in the beginning.
It's a movie about talking dogs and cats.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, the fucking pie lady was funny.
That was hilarious.
Her expression when the fucking
Get out of here, you dog!
or not even that, like it's like when the dog came in, she was in such shock, and like she catched the pie, and then like the cat came in, and her fucking expression was like, I can't like do it on the podcast, but it was just like really, it was just like subtly surprised. And it was funny, but there was still like the snap zoom on it.
The snap zoom was amazing.
And it really got me. And then then we introduce our main character.
Who doesn't have a name at this point?
Nameless, ambitious dreamer dog. And all the other dogs are like, why don't you want to go have a family? And then
There's no dog food in the big wide world.
You'll never get to play ball with a kid if you're trying to escape this barn.
Or eat dog food.
Or
Yeah.
eat dog food. Or be a bunion there.
and then he's like, but guys, don't you want to dream? And he flings himself into a wall.
He gets a fucking concussion.
Yeah, and then he falls under a bucket, and then a German, what are they
He's a
called?
Doberman.
Doberman. I don't know dog names.
They usually
But, like,
have
it's a
German
Doberman. He's like,
accents.
go, and then he replaces these dogs. Okay, so at this point we've established that dogs are secret agents. I forgot, I skimmed over that part.
Yeah.
But
Then he throws all the beagles into a hole.
yeah, okay, dogs are secret agents in this universe.
No, well,
And
yeah,
basically
yeah.
they're like undercover, like fighting cats and stuff. And this family is about to come along and pick up a new dog, and they need to replace it with a top trained soldier, so that they can use him as a part of the dog force.
So they can protect the cure to the allergy to dogs.
So they put so a Doberman sneaks his way into the barn and puts a bunch of puppies in the void, and then he replaces-
Doberman puppies, by the way, to replace
And it-
beagles.
Yeah, he replaces the beagles with the and then he replaces the beagles with the Doberman, and literally no one notices, and then
They notice, they just don't
and then the
question
puppies
it.
are never seen again. But in a wacky mix-up, ambitious dreamer dog is still around, and he gets captured by a family.
Captured.
Snagged.
And then he goes to the family house, and he's named Loser by the kid.
Because he's a piece of shit.
It's the same
But he's-
family that like.
He's like not an asshole at any other point except when she's like, "Why don't you name him? How about Loser?" And then he's just
And then
he's
his
just a
name is
nice-
Lou
Yeah.
for just the rest of the movie. Also, he's played by Tobey Maguire, which is funny.
But the thing
Yeah,
is
he's
that
played-
that kid was
and,
was nice for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He just named his dog Loser
he was
once.
just how about Loser. And it's weird because they were replacing that other dog that got captured, and it was like a day later. So it's like, well.
Yeah, so like the mom came off as like
Time
super,
for a new
the parents
dog.
came off as like really insensitive, and the kid was like, "What the fuck? We just lost my dog. Can't we like I don't know look for him?"
Yeah, exactly. And then other stuff happens, and then the cats want to take over the world with Jeff Goldblum's like.
Oh, and Alec Baldwin is Loser's mentor.
Oh yeah, and then the dogs have chemistry that no one cares about, and then
Because they're dogs.
because they're dogs.
That's kind of a theme throughout
That's
this.
like yeah.
At least Russell Madness had one dog.
I never like.
Well, it had two, but only one of them was
The
like
predominant
not
theme
there
was,
at all.
was bananas.
It's
Fuck that.
It's stupid. Fucking okay. It's so stupid that they decide to make like main characters like non-expressive dogs that are supposed to be like relatable, cause like you can't really relate to them because they're dogs, and it's like weird.
Because I'm not a dog. I don't know how dogs feel.
I'm not dog. I'm not colorblind.
At least when like you don't really have like another
The
human.
dark gray one.
The cats and dogs joke.
Yeah,
I know.
At least like when you don't have like another main human character to sort of mediate all of that. It's
Which
just
they
weird.
did in that movie.
They did in Dogs and Cats. I'll give you that.
Oh, cats and
And-
dogs actually.
Cats and dogs.
we don't
Fuck
want to
you.
get confused.
Fuck you. No, but That doesn't really come into play until like Marmaduke actually, but like this time it was like okay because there wasn't fucking romance. But we'll take a
there
bite.
there was between Butch and Ivy.
Oh, that's right, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
was very forced.
It was like
Yes.
super like
I-
like the most side romance you could possibly have, and then like plus two, and that was Butch and Ivy.
Yeah, and what else about cats and dogs was significant? Oh, Jeff Goldblum was the father who was trying to find a cure for dog allergies.
And the cat's way to take over the world, I guess, is let's spread like he reverse engineers.
Everyone. Yeah.
He reverse engineers the dog allergy serum, so that it gives people the dog allergy, and then he puts it on rats and spreads them throughout the world.
Yeah, wait. Could he really spread it to everyone on rats? Like, is that something that...
Well, because he said rats are in every home, and that's a proven fact. You can look it up.
According to cats and dogs.
According to cats.com.
Check the wiki.
Check the wiki.
Cats and dogs. The average home wiki. For the common house rat. No, but that was... Now, like... Because when we watched that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
But now, like, comparatively, after we've watched these other talking animal films, it just feels so
Yeah,
bland.
it's like really bland and boring after you watch Russell Madness and Marmaduke.
Marmaduke, especially.
God, it has Owen Wilson.
And that was funny, because we were joking about it having Owen Wilson in it because of Marmaduke and me.
Marley.
Like Marley and me, and then Owen Wilson being in this and calling it Marmaduke and me. But Owen Wilson was actually in it, which was funny. And then let's continue on to Russell Madness.
Russell Madness.
Which even outside of being a talking animal movie is the worst movie ever.
It's so fucking funny though.
Which is so funny to me. Because, like...
Not even like...
It's just the fucking concept alone.
It's about
is,
okay.
like,
So it's about a dog who doesn't want to go to the pound, because every time he basically lives at Petco, and every time that somebody comes to Petco to adopt him, he pees on them.
Which is not brought up after like the first 15 minutes of the
Yeah,
movie.
because nobody wants to adopt a dog that pees on them,
Yeah.
right?
So to avoid going to the pound, he becomes the greatest wrestler in the world, and wrestles like in the total
wrestles people.
The whole of the movie, he wrestles like in 4 matches, and in like three of them he cheats, and in one of them he just kills the person. He just strangles
The
them.
first one, mind you.
Yeah, the
Well,
first one.
it's like you could say he cheats, but you can't have a standard for the rules of these games
It's a
because
dog!
it's a dog versus a human.
And
So it's
the
like-
best part is that, like, no matter what outcome the match has, it's like either you beat up a dog, everyone hates you. You beat up a fucking dog, or the dog beat up you, and you got beat up by a
just
puppy.
lose and you get beat up by a dog.
Yeah,
There's nothing you
and
can
then,
do
like,
there.
And then like there's the whole like. There's a part where he
Oh, no,
ties
but-
a guy's shoes together,
I-
and he's like, I'm the greatest wrestler ever. And it's like, well, okay, first off, you're a dog, not a wrestler. Second off, you tie his shoes together, that's not legal. But then, how can I say what's legal? You're a dog.
Okay,
you
we
can't
need-
actually wrestle.
Okay, let's take it back a notch so that we can like.
And then there's a
es-
monkey.
Establish, yeah. Okay,
Oh, God, I
let's.
forgot about it.
All right.
Max, do you want to do this one?
The monk.
Oh no!
Like
just-
chronological-
describe
Russell Madness.
Describe the characters.
Do you want to do
Chris,
Russell
okay,
Madness
so-
synopsis?
I'll just do it
Give the cast-
chronologically.
the cast of characters.
After he escapes the Petco, he makes it into the back alleys of Portland.
That's true.
And he
Is it
sees-
actually Portland, or is it?
No,
just...
it's Portland.
It's Portland. That's what the. It's described as the back alleys of Portland.
Yeah, that's what.
That's, and
that's what
he
that Aussie
wishes
says.
he's this beagle puppy abandoned in the streets of Portland, and he wishes upon a star to have a family.
That's true. He does.
Oh, and he's voiced by the main
Yeah,
character of
and
the
so
Goldbergs.
this talking wacky monkey takes him in.
Wait, no, we're skipping a step. We need to talk about the perfect family.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're introduced separately.
They're-
There's this family who they own a derelict wrestling ring.
Well, they got it from his dead grandpa.
Yeah, because it was
Or dad or
it was in the
whatever.
family, and they're the perfect family. It's
Like,
because
just actually, though.
they have no flaws. The dad is like kind of a workaholic, and then the kids have no flaws.
Yeah, the kids are just always happy all the time. I don't think I saw the girl like do anything other than smile the entire movie.
Except for the time she was meditating.
Yeah, except for that
that's
time.
right. Well,
has a
I
monkey.
never saw her like
Yeah.
look sad
Yeah.
ever.
She has a tea party with a monkey.
That can talk.
Yeah, so
She has a tea party with the monkey because
And
he can
it's-
talk.
It's like her
Mind
smile
you.
is like weirdly like constant because like her expression never changes.
Yeah.
Like it's like she doesn't have any expressiveness in her face. She's just always like looking like peppy happy.
Yeah, so you've got this perfect family, and then you've got this dog who's like
A professional wrestler.
But then,
well, no,
yeah.
not yet. There's just this bulldog who tries to take his food on the.
I'm
street, and he's
hangry, and that makes me
Like,
angry.
this bulldog tries to take his food, and he's just like, "Can we share it?" So you've got this perfect dog,
Who wants the
So
perfect
the perfect
family?
wants to
innocent
find a
dog who
family.
just wants the perfect
and then
family.
and then also the perfect family also has a monkey pet, sort of.
Well, they didn't.
it's basically just a monkey who lives in their house,
Yeah, no,
And
no,
like- and likes bananas.
No, not their house, but the wrestling ring.
which they live in.
where they live. In this old wrestling ring,
that they got from the dad's
and
dead
the dad
dad.
tries to make a living off of
Which he does.
reinventing, which he does.
Yeah, because
But-
the monkey sees the dog, he helps him. So Russell the dog, goes into the wrestling ring to seek shelter and accidentally defeats a wrestler.
Yeah.
By choking him to death.
The monkey sees his potential and decides to train him in exchange for bananas.
And this is when
Lots
the monkey
of
reveals
bananas.
reveals that he still exists to the family. Like
Oh,
he's been
and-
he's been living in this house in secret from the family up until this point.
I'd also like to point out that he says he can speak, I believe, 6 different
Six different species. is what he
different
says.
species and a little bit of squirrel. And then his
Like,
phrase that's I can speak a little squirrel is pass the nuts.
Which is just in English
He just-
and nothing
He just
different.
says it in English.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be
He can
implied.
speak. He can
it's
speak
supposed to
people,
be-
by the way, not English. People,
It's
which I guess
supposed-
just includes every language.
Yeah, he can. Wait, he says he can speak people and dog, but he
Canine,
just speaks.
not dog. Canine.
All right,
He speaks English all the time,
He
yeah.
can speak people and dog, and he just does. He speaks the same. He makes the same banana puns to both the humans and
Yeah.
the dog.
Well, the dog understands English.
That's true, but wait,
It's not really consistent.
I don't. Who cares?
Well, no, he understands English, but
fucking cares.
Russell
It's
Madness.
Russell Madness.
Right? So,
I just want to make sure there's no plot holes in Russell Madness. All right,
Well, there are, but
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. To
I
make
digress.
Sure, okay? Because I'm pretty sure this is the perfect movie.
So-
You're
so-
mistaking
so-
it with Marmaduke.
Shut the fuck up. We get to Marmaduke when we get to Marmaduke.
I just.
Okay, Max? What happened next in Russell Madness?
yeah, so the family takes the dog in, and the dog becomes the greatest local wrestler in Portland.
Yeah.
Then
and he gets a million hits on YouTube.
Yeah, no,
They-
a million
It was a
views.
million views.
They did
said
say
views,
views.
and
That's
they
the
mentioned
Marmaduke's
Instagram
level.
twice and Twitter a few times.
Yeah.
Anyways, he becomes the greatest local.
You never sent me a Twitter? An Instagram?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Vin-
You
Vin-
never sent me an Instagram.
Vince
Oh, y-
Vince McMahon shows up and buys Russell basically.
Yeah.
Vic McMahon.
Vince McMahon. Not actually Vince McMahon. It's Vince McMahon.
It's
basi-
the actor. It's the actor that played
him.
Porky the Pig in
Toy Story,
Hamlet.
yeah.
In
Toy
Toy
Story.
Story.
Porky the Bank.
Porky the Pig in Hamlet. Is that what you said?
Well, because in Toy Story 3 they did Hamlet. Because there's a
Porky the Pig.
I don't fucking know his
Porky
name.
the Pig from Toy Story 3's Hamlet.
Toy Story 3's, like, within the movie Hamlet minigame.
No, they mentioned doing Hamlet at the end of Toy Story 3.
What are you talking
Cause the Porcupine doll is really into theater, and he mentions doing Hamlet, and Ham is
Turn
like,
on the light.
hey, I could be Hamlet. I'm a ham, and like that's the joke is that he's a pig doing
Yeah.
Hamlet.
Mhm.
So like that's what I know him as is Hamlet.
about? What were we talking about?
What was it talking about?
Russell
Russell
Madness. What was he talking about? I fell out of bed.
Fell out of bed.
I fell out of bed.
I definitely want to get the chicken little at some point.
Oh yeah, this is talking animal.
We should just do like movie podcasts where we just
I think Connor wanted to do that.
where we just talk about a certain movie.
I think Connor wanted to do that.
That'd be fun. Then I can draw.
That's a really good
Then I
idea.
could draw things relating to the
I get to
movie.
draw chicken little.
Just draw like Marmaduke, Russell, and
I already have little chicken
and
academia
Loser
drawn.
hang out.
I'll lose like back to back with sunglasses on, like a
Just-
cool
just-
'90s talking animal movie.
Just draw Russell beating up Marmaduke and Loser at the same time, like
Or
with
just-
one leg each.
or just Russell exploding.
Because he doesn't want to go to the pound.
I don't want to go to the pound. So we made this joke that whenever he hears the word, like, pound is his trigger word. So twice when he hears, uh-oh, I don't want to go to the pound, he just panics and runs away or beats someone up.
Twice in the movie.
He leaps out of his cage and just kicks a guy.
Like, mid-sentence, like, this, like, the owner was like, or like he was asked like, are you gonna take Russell back to the pound? And then he was gonna say, no, I'm not going to. But before he can, Russell's like, I don't want to go back to the pound. He runs away. It is so annoying.
It's so fucking funny.
He works his way up the ring of like the WWE.
WUF. The
WWE.
wolf.
WWE.
Wait, but first I want to talk about the monkey character because he's my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah, talk about Hunk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hunk. They have a training montage with Hunk, and Hunk is the monkey that trains both
Both
Russell and Max.
Max the
And
Max the son.
Linda? Lena?
The girl.
The girl.
He trains the girl for like a minute because she's meditating in one of the scenes.
She also did a tea party.
Yeah, the
with
little
him.
girl.
She blackmailed him into doing a tea party, and then he revealed his secret anyway.
He's like this New Yorker, like, he reminds me, who could I compare?
I looked it up. Who is he played by?
He's played by one of the Three Stooges in the
Right,
new
yeah,
Three
Will
Stooges
Sasso.
movie. Will Sasso. But he's like one of those New Yorker types that's like, I love ya, kid. Except literally, like, every other fucking sentence that comes out of his mouth is a banana pun.
I love you, kid. Not as much as bananas though.
Do you want a banana popsicle? Hey, we better split let's make like a banana and split.
He says that twice.
He says
Yeah,
that
and he
twice
says that twice.
consecutively.
And like, hey, you guys want a banana? You gotta get the banana. Like, fuck off. Like, holy shit. There's so many like,
They're not even puns. He just says
banana related shit. Like, he loves bananas.
The first time you watched that, you didn't remember as many banana puns, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Because like we made jokes about that afterwards, but I seriously did not remember.
Yeah,
this
I
many
didn't.
banana
There
jokes.
were actually like there was a
Like
there
when
was
we
a
were watching
point.
it, you were like, oh man, I sure do want like a banana right now. And then like 2 scenes later, you're like, man, I could really go for a banana. And I'm like, Max, what the fuck? You're like, I don't remember this at all.
No,
this didn't happen.
There
the
was
first time, I
actually
swear.
like a scene where like 3 consecutive sentences.
Oh yeah, that was after like you thought that it was a gun scene.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
thought it was a gun, but it was
So
actually a banana. He says 3 sentences in a row, all of which are different banana jokes.
I could put this in my book. 101 uses for a banana.
Hey, let's make like a banana and split. Like after that,
Those are the lines in that order. My God,
it's so bad. And like, is that like the only thing they could do with a monkey character? Is just make banana jokes?
and his screen time is just it's every scene he's in.
He
and,
talks
like,
so much.
He talks
and
so
there's
much.
so many banana puns whenever he talks.
No, not even that. He talks so much, so they had to give him a lot of screen time. But they didn't record much footage for him. So like, there's a scene where he's like pacing back and forth, and it's just the same clip played and then reversed, and then played and then reversed, and it's just over and over. And in between every single time that it's reversed, there's a close up of him, and I'm pretty sure it's the same close up every time because there's a part where he walks to one side of the stage, and then close ups on him, and it's
But the background
and it's the
doesn't
background
change.
of the first part of the stage.
No, okay. Like, it's so stupid because, like, literally every other footage that's, like, shown of him is just reversed footage of footage
There's
that
parts where
they
he's
just
jumping up
showed.
and down, and when he goes up at the peak, they reverse it.
No, like, he puts his
Instead-
arm up, and then in the exact same motion, he puts his arm back down. Yeah. Exactly.
They did it
so
at one point.
stupid.
They did it at one point with jumping. He comes back down anyways.
Yeah, why did they bother with that?
What the fuck? But they managed to get the entire scene from going through, like into the vent, through the vent, coming out of the vent, grabbing something, going back into the vent, coming down, dropping the keys.
Grabbing,
down,
and that
then
something
going
is a fucking banana.
he does grab the banana. He grabs keys as well.
Just a
But he
banana
does-
that's just sitting
Yeah, that's just
because this
there.
world just plays into this monkey's hands.
Fucking Bunk.
Whatever,
What's his
and-
name? Hunk.
Hunk, yeah.
Hunk.
But anyway, like whatever, they reconcile. Russell rises, he falls, he rises. But then like nothing really good happens until the very last like final fight of the movie, which it's a tag team fight between this one like respected wrestler who was on a team with the heavyweight champion of the world, and their opponent's team is Russell and a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
which
And they
just
win.
adds to the if you win, you beat up a fucking 12-year-old. Good job. You're the heavyweight champion of the world, and also beat up a
Yeah,
dog.
that kid gets fucking like
Or-
suplexed.
But yeah, he actually gets like his head slammed into the ground. But he
Or-
wins because he rips his nose hair out.
Yeah, or you lose to a 12-year-old and a dog, and you're the heavyweight champion of the world. What the fuck?
No, okay. Okay. Also, I think it's worth noting that Russell does nothing to deserve anything that happens to him.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he wished on a star.
Yeah, and later in the fucking movie, I forgot about this. He's like, "Thank you, wishing star."
And Hunk is like, "What the? Who are you talking to,
Who
kid?"
you-
And he's like, "My wishing star."
It's my wishing star. And that's like, Russell is like the worst, one of the worst written characters in
Oh my
any
God.
movie
Yes,
I've
oh my
ever
God,
seen.
So definitely.
He's so fucking annoying and persistently like blissful eyed, like glistening, like most innocent, like
Like, he's
please,
like-
mister,
he's
I
just-
just want a banana.
Can we share it?
Can
He's
you
just
want
like
to
a-
share it?
What's the term? What's the term?
May
like
the
Mary
best
Sue?
wrestler win. He's annoyingly endearing.
What's
What?
the term, like Mary Sue or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well,
Yeah, he's just
like
like
Mary-
Mary Sue, but like
There's a word
more
for
than
a,
normal.
But a dog
there's
wrestler.
a word for a male Mary Sue.
It's Marty Stew.
Marty Stew.
I think that's it. Yeah,
That's one of them.
That's yeah.
it's something like that. It's just that, but like more than should it. Like it's somehow more than it already is, which is just like a character without flaws. And then they just like made that a dog, and it's just like the most
His
annoying
character
shit
his
ever.
character flaw is that he pees on people.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't do it anymore.
He's just sad and innocent. That's like all he is.
and like the one
he's
time,
not sad.
and he loses a match, and he's like, "It's my fault. I let you down."
And Hunk's like, no, dude, people lose matches. It's a thing that happens.
he's just like,
"Why don't we split?
You're right, Hunk.
Well-
I'm gonna get back out there, give it
Now,
my
why
all.
don't we split this banana and make like a band split?"
hey, anyone got a bananagram?
Yeah.
Hit me up on banana Twitter.
So that's
And then the best tag team is
My
family,
tag
whatever.
at banana. Does anyone want a banana?
that's every tweet is like, does anyone want it? I know I do. He replies to himself every
I
time.
know I
We should make
do.
a fake Hunk Twitter account.
God, that'd be fucking great.
It's a Twitter bot that constantly
at
says,
ba-
"I want a banana."
Does anyone want a banana? And then it's subsequent
It's just-
tweet is,
just-
I know I do.
just a
And
reel.
the only, it's always like
It's
he
a bot of
retweets
just-
and favorites both of them.
Yeah, it's just a reel of like daily banana puns, banana jokes.
And they're all recycled, so like it cycles through like 5 different
just
ones.
oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
That's one of.
He also
that's gonna leave a
says
mark
that
on that
twice.
Says
banana.
that 3
He
times.
says that 3 times in the movie.
God damn it.
Oh,
And then
Russell Madness. It was,
Yeah.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen.
And then there's Marmaduke, which is
Okay.
to sum it up, it's
let-
it's Mean Girls but with dogs, and it's the most unrelatable thing
That's
until the
barely
end.
scratching the surface too.
That's yeah. Okay, so
it's 80 minutes long. I thought it was like
I
2.5
think
hours.
I think it's
It
most
starts
important to start out with the fact that it's about Marmaduke, which is a comic about
I was gonna get to
that dog
That's-
is big.
That's how I was gonna start off. It starts off like the comic where it's like, okay, he's a big dog.
They live
That's
in
like that's the joke. It's like, okay, he's a big dog and he doesn't listen to his owner, who like that makes sense, right? That's like a joke that you would have in like a Sunday Sunday morning comic strip. Like that's fine. It's like fucking Family Circus. It's like, oh, I don't understand what sex is, Dad. It's like, well, that's your joke for today, and that's pretty much it. But
It's
this
like
is an 80-minute movie about this whole thing is that he's a big dog who is not listening to his owner, and they bring up that he's big in like the first 10 minutes, and then mention it like twice more, and that's it. And then the rest of the movie is he doesn't listen to his owner, and it's dog high school at a dog park, and then it's a Mean Girls for a while, minus the part where he does it to sabotage people. He just does it because he likes the girl, and then he does a party and everyone hates
We
him
should start at the beginning.
because
Yeah,
he beat up George Lopez.
We need to start all the way at the beginning. Garfield. I was about to say Garfield.
Garfield
but
lives
Marmaduke.
in Kansas. with
Marmaduke
Phil
is also
and his wife
also
and
an-
his 2 kids, daughter and son.
Marmaduke lives in Kansas with his 2 kids.
Yeah, and then
He's recently
and then Phil,
divorced, but
Phil
he's
gets a-
managing to get
Phil
by.
gets a job and says, "We're moving to Cali, fam," and everyone's like, "Yeah, that's okay, sure." And except for the daughter,
Mario's
who's like,
like,
"Fuck you, Dad."
Oh boy, how am I gonna fit in that small crate?
I'm
Yeah.
so big.
And
Remember that?
Owen Wilson is Marmaduke. George Lopez is Carlos the cat, who, by the way, I thought would have a bigger role.
Yeah,
Does not have a
he
big role
doesn't-
at all. I was
like
hoping,
no,
like-
it just starts out like it's setting up like some like harmless,
see,
no,
what I
like
thought was
hold
gonna
on, wait,
happen-
hold on. Like it sets it up, it sets itself up like it's just some innocent, wacky like animal
Yeah.
adventure, like family relations of like Garfield, like that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
But like
With, like, Odin and
it
shit.
totally like at the minute they get to California, it completely ditches that and goes for something completely
What I thought it was
different.
gonna be was like, okay, so like we got Carlos, right, and then he gets to California, and it's like, once it got into like the dog park thing, which I'll get to in a bit. Then I was like, okay, he'll do like dog park stuff, and then he'll go back and like Carlos will like be kind of like a guy who like gives him advice, and like some of it's wrong, some of it's right. You know, he's got to figure stuff out.
No.
But no,
Carlos
is there for
Carlos
one
gets
scene,
beat up.
one
That's
other
what he
scene,
does.
and the end when they. No, he's not at the end when they dance. He's at the end after they
No,
watch.
he's at the end.
No,
Like for a snippet. You see him for a second.
He's at the end after they dance, and he goes, "Yes."
Maybe you should bleep dance.
What?
You should bleep dance.
To reveal it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bleep that out. Bleep that out.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so after they moved to Cali, he works for like Bark Wow or whatever Incorporated. Phil does.
Yeah, like he's an
and-
idea manager.
Yeah, he's
or
a
whatever.
marketing guy for Bark Wow Incorporated or some shit, and
Bark Wow.
he has like his
Sham
boss.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much
For dogs.
For dogs, and his boss is Jerry Lundgaard or whatever.
Jerry Lundegaard.
Yeah, Jerry Lundegaard,
From Fargo.
the guy who played Jerry Lundegaard from Fargo, and he loves dogs.
Yeah, he
Like,
I can tell a lot
he-
about
like-
man by the way he treats his dog.
It's like
he says in his serious, like monotone voice.
I'm pretty sure his wife is gonna leave him because of his obsession with his dog.
no,
which is a joke that they make.
no. There's a joke later where it's just like, frankly, I think she's just jealous.
Of the
and then it
dogs.
just lingers in silence.
It just
and
lingers,
cuts,
and then it cuts to a different
cuts away.
scene.
It's never talked about again.
It's not set up like a joke either.
It's not. Yeah, it's not set up like a joke. It's just a conversation.
No, okay, but let's
Okay,
slow down.
so
All right,
then-
Marmaduke.
They
yeah.
get to Cali, right? And
They're at the park.
they're at the dog park with
Yeah.
Phil, Phil's boss,
Jerry Lundegaard
um,
asks to meet up at a dog park.
Yeah, he has to meet up at
because
his dog park
loves
because he loves dogs. And it's a dog company, so it kind of makes sense,
Yeah,
you know? Like, get to know your clients, right? They're dogs.
Yeah,
And
the dog people.
and
Their clients are dogs.
they are. And then, so he's like, oh, that's a beautiful dog. What kind of dog is that? And he's like, oh, it's a great thing. He's like, I smell a bit of German Shepherd. And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, Jerry Lundegaard looks up at him and he goes, the fuck, you don't know your dog? And he goes, I love my dog. And he goes, good. And then and then he's like, take your shoes off, Jerry or Phil. Let's feel the earth. And they walk off and leave Marmaduke just walking around the dog park like every other dog. I guess that's what you do at a dog park. I wouldn't know. I live in Missouri. There's no dogs allowed.
Anyways.
And then
Frankly, I think she's jealous.
Frankly,
I think Missouri is just
I
jealous
think the
of Kansas.
State of Missouri is jealous.
of all those other states with dogs. And then they like dog Marmaduke meets other dogs.
As opposed to human Marmaduke. Oh yeah! I forgot what the movie starts out as.
Yeah.
It starts out as like a live action high school movie.
Oh, we frankly did that. That was actually funny.
With like a really big kid, and it's just like title Marmaduke comes in across the screen.
Oh fuck, that's hilarious.
And it's just
I
like
forgot
we
about
got the big people, we got the small people, but it's high school. But anyways, record scratch. I'm actually a dog.
And it like swings the camera over to Marmaduke from like across a school lot.
Yeah, and it's
So fucking funny.
It's weird.
It's really funny.
I thought it
It's
was
really funny. Okay, so that happened. Like that's the beginning of the movie, and then we're back at the dog park, right? And Marmaduke meets other dogs, like Girl Dog 1, what was her name?
Maisie?
Maisie. That's what
Daisy. It was
It
just
was- it was-
Daisy.
I think it was
Maisie.
It was Maisie.
It was Maisie.
And then there's
Maisie, Simon the smart dog. That's probably not his
Yeah.
name, but he had a bow tie, so he looks like a Simon.
Fells.
And he meets Chinese scared dog, and
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, sure. And
That was actually his name. It was Giuseppe.
that's fine. And then they're all friends for a while. But Marmaduke's like, hot damn, that Jasmine chick is pretty...
Jezebel.
Jezebel, that's her name. I keep thinking Jasmine for some reason. Jezebel is like pretty smoking dog, because dog. And then Maisie is like, yo, you best watch out for Rocco. He's gonna fuck you up if you even look at his girlfriend. And Roscoe is like... Bosco is like, hey, don't look at my girl or I'll fuck you up. And he's like, yo, dog, I wasn't looking at your dog, dog.
Oh yeah. No, basically they also, just to add some context, they basically flat out say this is basically like dog high
Yeah,
school.
no, that's what Maisie says. She
No,
says
they do say that.
No, they do say that.
Yeah, they
That's
flat
what
out
I'm
say
saying.
that. She flat out goes, welcome to the dog park. It's basically dog high school. You got your groups, the jocks. And then they make a weed joke about dogs eating mushrooms.
They say, then you got
The
the mushroom heads.
Was that it? The
mushroom
mushroom heads? Yeah, the mushroom heads, and then there's
They're
like,
whoa, I'm
cheer-
seeing
there's, like-
colors. By
there's,
this
like-
point, this is the second drug joke they've made in
that's
the
the
movie.
first one.
No, the first one was when they were on the plane. He's like, I think he put something in the
Oh,
meatballs.
okay, yeah. Can you see? Have you ever really looked at your paws, man?
That was
that
funny.
was George Lopez. He's probably like the funniest character in the movie, which that's saying something because it's George Lopez. And then let's see. So she flat out says Dog High School introduces all the people, and they talk about how Bosco is gonna beat the fuck out of Marmaduke if he looks at a girl dog, and then he looks at the girl dog, and Bosco's like, "You looking at my girl dog?" And he's like, "I'm not looking at your girl dog. There's a fucking beef jerky," and that was pretty much a line, because he saw her sniffing,
Yeah,
and he was like,
okay.
"There's beef jerky," and then.
And then he's like, step off. And then they're like, okay, that's whatever. And
Okay,
then,
sure. And then he's like, see you at the party. Matt!
Oh, yeah. Not.
Matt!
I am
Pause
still-
Matt!
I am not in love with you anymore. Not.
Yeah, it's pretty much the Borat at this point. And
Yeah.
then maybe Maisie's like, hey Marmaduke, we have a party going on tonight, and he goes to their party because they're cool guys. They're actually mutts. Don't tell
it's
them.
not
though.
really a party. It's just a DDR machine in the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they have trash out back where you can eat their trash.
They played DDR, and Marmaduke breaks the DDR, and she's like,
Yeah,
I've
with
been
his-
meaning to get a
with his-
Wii
with his-
anyway.
With his sick,
yeah.
with his sick
he
CG
break dances.
break
That reminds me of
That
Scooby-Doo 2
totally-
Monsters Unleashed.
I just haven't seen that. Ever.
I have it on DVD.
We should watch it later.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay, so
back to
then
Marmaduke.
then Marmaduke's like, yo, this is
So
pretty
much
cool and
shit
all,
happens.
but I think I want to go. Yeah, this is less than an hour and a half movie, but there's
It
so
feels like 3
fucking
hours.
much.
It feels like 2 hours.
Yeah, it feels like at least 2 hours.
More than 2 hours.
And then he's like, all right, this is cool and all. I'm loving this OC Rager, but I want to go hang out with the cool kids, so I'm gonna peace out. And then everyone else is like, no, it's cool, we'll go with you, because they're good friends.
And then.
And then they go there, and Bosco's like, the fuck are you doing here, mutt? Because they're all racist, I guess. And
Yeah,
he's like,
no, then he fakes. Remember, he fakes.
no, they don't do that yet.
Oh.
That comes after. And then he's like, hey, dog, what's poppin'? I just wanted to
Oh, this
chill.
is at the party.
Yeah, this is at the party. The first party.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bosco's like, fucking baby bitch, and he like yells at him, and Marmaduke's like, oh, I'm sad. And then Jezebel's like, hey, let's just chill, guys. And Maisie's like, come on, Marmaduke, let's bust out of here. And Marmaduke's like, aight. And they peace out. And then Jezebel's like, it's kind of funny now.
Yeah, that's weird.
'Cause-
No, he's kind of funny though.
God,
and
all
it's just
dogs.
Like, it's weird
so
because
weird.
they're dogs.
They're dogs. It's high school with dogs. If I want
And
to
it's
watch high
like
school with
romance.
dogs, I would watch Johnny Test.
We've been describing dog characters this whole time.
Yeah.
Marmaduke
It's-
is about
it's
it's dogs.
weird.
The only human characters
It's like romance.
are like
and it's
weird because it's dogs. And then
also Marmaduke is played by Owen Wilson, who's like a 40-year-old man.
And Marmaduke wants to fit in, so he like beats up a cat. It's funny.
he beats up George Lopez, and
Yeah.
George Lopez is like, dude, what the fuck? We weren't supposed to go this far. And he's like, nah, dude, check it. And
He-
and then George
then
Lopez
he's
is
like,
like,
I
we're
hope
not friends
I-
anymore, Marmaduke.
Then he's like, I hope you're happy, and it never comes up again, and they just forgive each other.
Yeah.
They just.
They're just
Yeah,
friends
when
again
he-
because
when he has the jet ski, it's funny.
yeah. That's yeah, and then that happened like the next day pretty much after he got like some advice from
Oh, yeah.
from Maisie, and she
Also,
told her his dream date.
the-
She told him her dream date.
Chupadagra, they run into him on the way.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the party,
Chupadagra.
which is basically like the stupidest thing.
It's pretty much
'Cause
just the
it's-
Sandlot dog.
No, it's just like because his
just the Sandlot
his
dog.
scene is just so obviously because he's going to be a plot device later.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So it's just
so
like,
intense.
watch out for the Chupadagra. Phew, that was good that we got away from that Chupadagra.
But they didn't get
I
away
say
from
that
it.
anyways.
Chupadagra ate the Chupadagra's owner.
But they didn't get away from it. They stood there. It walked it was like on a hill, and they were at like the bottom of the hill, and it walked by. It looked at them for a little bit,
walked away.
and then it just walked away. And they're like, "Whew, that was close."
that stupid dog ref.
Yeah, it was dumb as shit.
Anyways,
And then
after.
so Maisie talks to.
And then we
talks
need to talk about.
the Duke.
Wait, does the surfing happen? When does surfing happen?
Oh wait.
Is surfing?
I forgot that's.
Can I
No,
somebody comes up
surfing's
with it?
after because
What?
that's when.
But when he comes up with it.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that comes after he
that's
beats up George Lopez.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. So he beats up George.
Yeah,
Lopez.
so he-
Well, no,
Yeah,
okay,
we're
no,
at
no,
that
no,
now.
no, because he talks to I think he talks to Maisie first, and he's like, yeah, he talks to Maisie first because he's like, yo, how do I be a prestigious dog? And she's like,
Oh, yeah.
sit up straight, put your ears up straight, make your breath smell like mince. And he's like, yeah, will this get me girls? And she's like, why you want to know? And he's like, just curious, because he's thinking about Jezebel, but she thinks he's thinking
She's
about
like,
her.
oh, okay.
She goes-
And then she
it's
tells
just
him,
like,
and then
oh,
she-
you're a dog. Stop.
and then she tells him her dream date, which is just even more like you're a dog. You don't have dates. You're a dog.
You do actually, as you'll see later.
Fuck off, Max.
Hit it,
And
boys.
And then there's the dog date. Or not
No,
yet. There's not a
no,
dog
not
date yet.
yet.
But that's later. And
Now
then-
it's
okay.
the- now
Okay.
it's
He
the-
goes home and he talks to George Lopez and he's like, "How's my breath smell?" And he's like, "Smells like mint." And he's like, "Cool. Hey George, I got an idea." And he's like, "What is it, Owen?" Wilson.
I'm gonna beat you up in front of
I'm
everyone.
gonna beat you up in front of him.
George
He's like,
Lopez.
all right, sure.
Then he
And then he
beats
beats him up in front of
He
everyone.
beats him up too much.
He beats him up too much. And George Lopez ain't having none of that. And he's like, "Get what you wanted, or I hope you got what you wanted." And Owen Wilson's like, "I did." And then, yeah, there you go.
He's in the cool click or whatever.
Yeah, and then Boss goes
Can't
like,
lose my puppies.
"Arr." No, that's Stan from Dog with a Blog.
Okay.
And then Boss goes like, "Arr."
Yeah.
And Jezebel's like, "Cool."
She's like, you're so strong.
Yeah, pretty. Look at Marmaduke. He's so strong and fast.
He smells like mint.
You smell mint. I smell.
I smell potential. He says something. He
And
says
I
something
always
oh,
have.
she
I've always
says-
had a
she-
good sense
yeah.
of smell.
No.
And I smell
She
a
says
lot of potential.
The
Every bit of mint.
the
I like it.
conversation goes because he smelled quote air quotes Carlos George Lopez from like across the park pretty much, and she's like, "Wow, Marmaduke, you have a great sense of smell." He's like, "Yeah, I guess it's my big nose." And
Because I'm a big dog. Remember that plot device?
and then
I can't even fit
God.
into my doghouse.
Max,
can't
you can
even
take
fit through
over
my
after we
dog
get to
door.
this
Yeah.
to the idea, because I don't think I can go the whole way. And she goes, "I have a pretty good sense of smell too. I smell potential in you, and a bit of mint, because he made his breath minty."
Okay.
And then they go on road trip. Phil and Dog go on
Right.
trip.
Yes. So
Yeah, okay.
Marmaduke
Max
and his
take.
owner, they're in the car. They're in their Mini Cooper with a sunroof.
Carmen.
And they're driving by. See, they're driving along with the sunroof open, and there's a bee, and Marmaduke doesn't like bees, so he gets upset, and Phil pulls over, right?
Because my dog is freaking the fuck
Yeah,
out.
because Marmaduke's like spasming, and then they're pulling over, and they're in California. You know, they're along the sun-bleached Pacific coast.
Well, they're in Orange County.
Yeah, they're in Orange County. So then he looks out onto the sea while Marmaduke is spasming and sees surfers.
No, he says it's just surfers, Marmaduke.
Right? It's just surfers, Marmaduke. And then he pauses for a second and says, "Marmaduke, you're a genius." Then immediate cut to Phil and his boss is exclaiming, "A dog surfing contest?"
That's the first line of the cut. Is a dog surfing contest?
And it's so funny. Cause I love the concept. It's like, you're a genius, Marmaduke. This is a genius idea, and then it's a dog.
Why haven't I
surfing-
thought of that?
dog
It's foolproof.
surfing
They don't
competition?
even surf, they just boogie board.
Yeah, well,
Well, Marmaduke, he hangs.
dog
funny.
surfing is a better title than dog boogie boarding. Anyways,
Max, do you want to continue the dog surfing?
Yeah.
Oh, is the dog surfing? Is the dog surfing competition right after that?
Yeah. That's
Pretty much.
Well,
Pretty
anyway,
much.
it's like there's a dog surfing competition. Dogs are boogie boarding, just on boogie boards.
It's pretty much just Marmaduke and Bosco.
Yeah, well, no, that like all the other dogs finish, and then it comes down to Marmaduke and Bosco, the big dog, and Bosco wipes out
Because
because
Marmaduke
hits
accidentally
him.
hits him.
But then Marmaduke stays in, and he's able
It's
to
like,
he's able.
He does like the surf stuff.
I
yeah.
can't stop it.
He starts surfing the wave, and he's able to escape the wave. He makes it out, so he wins.
I want to be honest. I was really hoping Marmaduke would just turn into Surf's Up with dogs. From the, like, as soon as I said dog surfing competition, I was really excited.
Dog surfing competition.
I just really wanted Surf's Up with dogs. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, so the Marmaduke makes it to the end, and then he wins. Bosco kills Marmaduke or whatever.
Well, he tries.
Yeah.
And then after he wins, he's like, I'm gonna kill you, Marmaduke. And then Marmaduke's like, you know what? Sure, I will fight you. And then...
Well, no, he runs around for a while because he's getting fucking chased. And then as soon as he decides to retaliate,
and then everyone's just like
Marmaduke.
really slippery and clumsy for some reason. Literally everything is ruined because he's a big dog and he causes trouble. And then...
But he didn't cause the trouble, so I don't understand why he's in trouble.
No, but then...
He was getting chased.
But then then Bosco is like, let's fight. And then Marmaduke's like, okay. And then Bosco's like, stop attacking me. And then...
But he didn't even touch
Then
him.
The boss is like, hey, cut it out, you two. And then...
Get Marmaduke under control or you're fired!
Jeff, what's his name?
Phil?
Phil. Yeah, and then Phil's like, hey, knock it off, you two. And then he's like, I'm so sorry for my dog, sir. And then the boss is like, you are not going to tarnish my business anymore. But he doesn't fire him. He's just like, now mad. And he's like, I'm so sorry, Petco. Johnny Petco. I'm gonna... No, they're doing a sponsorship for Petco at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then he's mad at him, and it's all Marmaduke's fault. And then Phil's like, Marmaduke, no! And then
Marmaduke.
Marmaduke capitalizes on his popularity by throwing a wicked party when Phil's out of the house on a work
Boat
end.
trip with the family.
On a boat trip with the family, aka a work end.
Claims his wife.
Yeah.
It wasn't a weekend. It was a work end.
And then, so he throws this wicked, what does he call it?
Rager?
A Cali Rager at his house.
They called it an
What does
OC.
Marmaduke call it? An OC Rager?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Marmaduke. Marmaduke walked into the OC Rager to say, finally, a party for me. It's Marmaduke. Let me remind you.
This is a party is big enough. It's big enough for me.
Yeah, it's that comic strip with the dog, and the owner is like, God, you're so destructive and noisy. Now he's throwing OC Ragers in Cali, starring like party George Lopez
As a
and
cat.
Owen Wilson.
In a
And
dog thing.
I don't think he
God.
talks in the comics as well, but he talks in this.
Marmaduke?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't just have Owen Wilson not doing anything with him.
Why? Why would that be the main reasoning? Not Marmaduke. You can't carry a character without you can't carry the main character without him talking. Not how are we gonna get Owen Wilson in this movie?
No, they already had Owen Wilson. It was just how we fit him in.
How do we fit him in? Well,
You can't play Phil,
we
already
might
have
as
Phil
well
lined
make
up.
Marmaduke talk then, just so we can use Owen Wilson.
Yeah. George
Anyway.
Lopez, he was already signed in to be the cat, though.
Like Marmaduke was never supposed to talk.
His original name was actually Marmaduke.
He just actually.
Little known Marmaduke fact.
Also, I'm gonna rewind real quick. There is this one part at the party that he goes to initially with the girl, and he gets beat up by Bosco.
They don't fight really. He just
Or they like fight, and he does a horse whinny. Bosco does like
as Marmaduke is leaving, he the camera cuts back to
Bosco, and he's like howling up into the air, and a horse whinny sound comes from his mouth.
We barely caught it.
It's so
We
confusing.
went back and watched it again, and it's like
It's just straight up.
It's just like a stock.
It's
horse
straight
whinny.
up. I don't know why that was there. Maybe we missed something.
I think it might have been my thought was okay, because I didn't see the scene when it happened. I was looking down at something. I don't remember. It was probably my phone.
It was one of the dogs doing an impression.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought that it might have been because there's a dog there. He's he speaks a billion different languages,
So you thought he was
including chipmunk or gopher. And he's and I'm okay, maybe it was him doing a horse whinny.
But no, it was Bosco.
The
And-
one who fights and is also big.
And then apparently a horse whinny is just a sign of dominance.
I should
But-
do that to my dog.
But anyways, fast forward back to what we were talking about before. Where were we? Oh, at the party. So he's throwing a
At
wicked
Marmaduke's party.
Marmaduke's
hosted by
OC
Marmaduke at Phil's
Rager,
house.
hosted by Marmaduke, and it's basically he's wrecking the house. He's having a good time. He's like, "Hey, maybe this is going a bit too far." And then Jezebel's like, "Loosen up, Marmaduke," and he's like, "Sure."
Everyone finds out that he faked the cat thing.
Can I just talk about like how much I love the conversation between every conversation between Marmaduke and Jezebel is like the greatest thing because that one's just, God, oh man, I think this party's starting to get a little out of hand. Hey, loosen up, Marmaduke.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
you're right. Okay.
Before this
And
party,
then they just walk off screen.
before this party was when Marmaduke takes Jezebel on their date.
No,
No, it's before this because the party is when he tarnishes their relationship.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. They do
So-
go on a date. They go on Maisie's perfect date.
They go on Maisie's. The Maisie describes a perfect date of being at a junkyard, and Marmaduke says, "Hit it, boys." Then all the lights go on, and you can see the junkyard, and she's like, "Wow, it's beautiful."
And he set up a picnic.
And he
with
set up a
peanut
picnic
butter.
with peanut butter, and he's just,
he
"This
goes,
is
and he goes,
so."
"Hit it, boys," and then there's dogs in cars, and they turn on the cars so the old radios play.
Yeah.
And they play like bow 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 wow.
I've been living times are changing. That song.
Yeah, that one. You
And,
see it in a lot of Swiffer commercials.
Yeah, it is in the Swiffer commercials. But at this point, he's like, "This is so romantic. I love junk and peanut butter," and
She also
and then
loves chunky peanut butter.
and the
Jezebel?
Maisie is looking from afar down, and she's like feels betrayed, and she like ends up ranting at Marmaduke like, "How could you throw us away like that? You're OG friends," and he's like, "Whatever, dog. I'm the king of the universe. I don't need you, people."
They're still they're still dogs.
Yeah, they're still dogs.
This is dog drama.
Yeah,
It's
in a dog park. It's all in a dog park.
High school.
A dog high school, which is basically a dog park.
It's literally a dog park.
And then
But I love how they don't equate it to like they
It's
just
so
equate it to high school.
blatant. They just embrace it. Like, okay, anyways, and then it all comes back to and then anyways, we're back at the party. It's a rager. Everyone's hitting it up. But then Bosco has finally the perfect way to exploit him. He discovers George Lopez, the dog, the cat, the only one that isn't a dog in this movie.
That's well,
He's
except
just-
for like the 4 people.
And he's like, I don't live with Marmaduke or anything. Uh-oh. And then Bosco's like, he's a fake. He's a, what does he call?
Fake?
No,
Marma
fake. He says like
okay,
Marmaduke, or should I say Marma fake?
Okay, and then
he's
prior
like a high school bully and he calls him Marma fake.
prior to this,
He
at
calls
the
him
surfing
Marma
competition,
Puke.
he calls him Marma Puke, which like
Works, but it's
like
stupid.
That's like the thing, like the cartoon where it's like Link more like stink. It's like
Yeah.
that, but that's sarcastic, and this is Marmaduke.
No, it's definitely serious. But they. And then he's like, "Oh no, I lost all my friends."
And he lost literally all of his friends.
Then-
and then Phil comes home.
Then
and-
Phil comes home and is like, "Oh no, the house is tarnished. Marmaduke, go outside now. I'm so mad at you for literally destroying the entire house." And the wife is like, "Why are you such a dick?
You
I
work
sleep
in?
on the couch. Why do you have to work all the time? Why do you have to work to support the family? I hate you. Sleep on the couch." And then like he's like, "Well, okay." And at this point, basically, I hate everyone. And Marmaduke's like, "I'm gonna run away from home." And
even
then
George Lopez?
No, Marmaduke.
No, you said you hate everyone, even George Lopez.
Yes, even George Lopez.
He was like the only character that wasn't a shit.
And Marmaduke runs away, and this is the point where he meets the Chupadogra, and it's underwhelming and not.
Well, he doesn't meet the Chupadogra until you find out that so the dad wanted the son to play soccer. He never ended up playing soccer, so his uniform is still like wrapped up and stuff. The girl was gonna send a text to her dad about how he's like overprotective, like quote unquote super overprotective or something like that, and like she never sent it, but it's still like in the drafts or whatever. So and I think that was it. And Maisie
Basically,
gave
his
Maisie,
entire
and Maisie
family
gave
is sick of him.
Yeah, and Maisie gave Marmaduke a cow that oinks when you squeeze it because it's a dog toy and it's funny actually, and Marmaduke gathers the daughter's phone, the son's soccer uniform, and puts those two on the table in front of where Phil is sleeping. So when he wakes up, he'll see them, and then he takes the and puts it in front of Maisie's garage, and then
Marmaduke
Maisie's
sets
just
up
awake,
this trap for everyone.
pretty much, and Maisie's just awake at this point, even though
Yeah,
it's
she
like
just walks
4
outside
a.m.
and is like,
and I'm like, how are you alive? It's dog high
"Oh,
school.
look.
Go to bed.
It's you have dog high school tomorrow. You gotta go to bed.
You have Water Bowl
You
101.
have basically dog high school.
I have to
tomorrow.
get up at dog a.m."
Dog AM.
And then okay.
And then she finds the thing, and she's like, "Shit, guys, we gotta find Marmaduke." And so her and Simon and what was the kid's name? Giuseppe go out and try to find Marmaduke in the rain at 4 a.m. And then later Phil wakes up and he's like, "Hey, girl child, I read your text. Is that how you feel?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, And then he hands her the phone, and then he goes, "Hey, boy child, I see that you never went to soccer practice." And he's like, "That's because soccer's dumb, Dad." And he's like, "All right." And then he's like, "Hey, where's Marmaduke?" And the wife child is like, "Where is Marmaduke? I thought he was with you." And he's like, "Fuck, he was outside, and the gate's open, and we have to go find Marmaduke."
I'm like, "Oh, we gotta find Marmaduke."
And
then
Then the city collapses.
no, wait, don't spoil that yet. And then
Too late.
and then they're finding Marmaduke, and Phil gets a phone call. "What are you doing? Not at work?" says Jerry Lundegaard. And then Phil's like, "I have to find Marmaduke." And Jerry Lundegaard's all, "Oh yeah, well you can find him in hell. You're fired."
You can find him in the unemployment office.
Collecting your unemployment check.
"You're fired." And then
Fired.
Then
Fired.
"You're fired."
Fired.
What is that from?
Cat in the Hat.
That is from Cat in the Hat. I forgot.
I never forget.
"You're
Cat in the Hat.
fired." Anyways.
Fired.
Anyways, so he gets fired, and he's like, well, at least I got Marmaduke. And
But
then
he doesn't have Marmaduke.
But he doesn't
Where's
have Marmaduke yet. Where's Marmaduke? He says, "Don't try this at home, kids." He does a wicked turn, and, like, swerves off the road.
Because he sees Marmaduke running towards
and
Maisie.
parks his car, and he sees Marmaduke running towards Maisie because they find each other, and they're running
middle of a fucking
in the
sinkhole.
in the
then-
middle, as if there wasn't enough fucking going on at this point. Like they meet each other in like this hazard zone, which apparently the pavement of the street collapses
Because
from
LA is imploding.
from
It's literally just a fault line itself.
from underneath them. Just this thing collapses.
They basically live on like a hollow roof.
And it's so frustrating because the dogs just walk into this hazard zone, and then when the humans try to get the dogs, they're like, "No, you can't get in here. It's a safe zone." It's because like,
But there's two dogs.
But there's
that are
two
just
dogs
in the
literally
center.
just
There's a crowd around them. Everybody saw the dogs go in.
everyone saw the dogs collapse into this
Actually, Marmaduke leapt into it.
the void.
Yeah, and Maisie just walked
Maisie.
into it from the other side. She's just like,
No, Maisie
Hey,
just
there
fell
it
fell into it, and then Marmaduke jumped into it after her.
Into
the
zone.
abyss.
And then the abyss happens underneath Maisie, and Marmaduke's like, "Maisie!" But everyone else was like, "Hoo-hoo."
Yeah.
And so he jumps in after her.
And then it's like, "Oh no, we gotta save Marmaduke," but it's too late because they're both like
Fucking drowning. pretty
drowning
much.
and like Maisie, Marmaduke, like they're calling for each other. It's like Finding Nemo. They're like going,
Nemo, swim down.
going through the pipes, and then they find themselves at a place where they can stop falling at like a waterfall place, and then fucking a safety man comes down. And he's like, "Jump, Maisie, into my arms. That's the only way you can live." And Maisie's like, "I don't know, I'm scared." And then that goes on for an amount of time, and it's stupid because it's like not suspenseful. And then like she jumps in, and then he's caught. And then, oh no, Marmaduke falls down the waterfall.
Well, Marmaduke wasn't gonna jump because he's like 4 times the size of Maisie.
Yeah, well,
so like
also
and also like the size of the guy carrying Maisie. So like if he jumped, they would fucking fallen.
So Maisie is saved, but Marmaduke falls deeper into the void. And
Max, do you want to continue this?
Yeah, whatever. He washes out into like the he sinks deeper and deeper into the depths, until he's like washed out into the basin or whatever. At which point Phil leaps over the railing like with one hand. And,
Really cool scene, by the way.
Like dives into the storm drain, not a storm drain. Like the basin.
yeah, it's like where a bunch of skateboarders
And like
do
grabs
wicked tricks.
grabs Marmaduke,
Water.
gets like life rafted out, and then also rehired or something.
Yeah,
Because he cares about his dog. And then Marmaduke brings up the point that was made at the end of Cyberbully, where everyone should be friends, regardless of...
it's so stupid. Because literally, the last interaction he had with these people was,
Dogs.
these
Still dogs, by the way.
the last interaction he has with these dogs is that he's at the party and everyone sees that he's a fake and that he's a Marma fake, and
all
they're
hate
like,
him.
I can't believe you would do this to us, Marma fake. And then she leaves.
Okay, and then when he goes back
then he
to the
go-
dog
wait.
park, everyone's like,
Okay.
hey, it's Marmaduke, fuck him. And then he walks up and he's like, hey, Bosco, don't be such a prick, let's all be friends. And
Let's all be
everyone's
friends.
like,
We're all dogs, and then they're like,
It's
hey,
actually what he
yeah.
yeah, he says,
Even if you're a jock
his literal line
or
is,
you're a mushroom
we're all
head."
dogs here.
We're
Which
all-
just sums up the movie, I think.
Like when you strip it down, we're all just dogs.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
And then everyone's like, Marmaduke gets it. Marmaduke for president. He's president of Dog High School. And Bosco's like, well, fuck. I'm out, I guess. And then everyone's friends. And then it cuts to Jerry Lundegaard and Phil.
Just
and
talking.
Just in the dog park talking. And Jerry goes, you ever wonder if dogs could talk to each other, what they'd say?
Wait,
And Phil looks at him. Phil looks at him and goes, no.
No, he says exactly what happens is Phil's boss says, you know, what if those dogs could talk? And Phil says, I don't buy it. And then Phil says, you know, what if they could dance?
And then
Then
they look at each
cut away-
other. They do like the slow turn
As
and
the
they,
music cues, like, right
and
after
then
they say that.
They kind of like smile and nod, and then it cuts.
Cuts to CG animated Maisie, Marmaduke, and the whole gang dancing up a storm
To what I like about you.
to that's what I like about you.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
And then like sometime in the music video, it pans out, reveals that it's actually just like an actual video that Phil and his wife are just fucking to.
Wait, no. This is between that, the music
She
cuts
is-
out
she is
real quick,
naked,
and all the
though.
dogs are like, "Oh no, it's the Chupa
dog,
dog, bruh,
Like,
dog,
hey.
bruh." And then like he comes over the mountain, and then it's just like everyone's silent looking at him, and then he's just like, "Hey, it's what I like about you." Then the music comes back in, and
And everyone
everyone's
starts dancing. They
again.
make a heart around Marmaduke and Maisie. They make it a heart out of dogs.
Yeah,
while
and
they're
then
dancing.
and then it stops, and then it zooms out, and it reveals that the entire film was just a
it's just
trailer
that.
I think it was an ad for
Dog
food, I
Wow.
think. Yeah.
It was an ad for Dog Wow, but like, and then
And they're watching
and
it
then
in bed.
They're watching it in bed, and I'm pretty sure that Phil's wife is naked. Cause she had like the blanket or the covers like there, and she didn't have any straps on her arms. So I'm pretty sure they were just having sex.
Peculiar.
Yeah. And then
Well, I mean-
Marmaduke goes 3, 2, 1, and then he goes, and then
Oh,
and then
Marmaduke.
and then Jordan Lopez goes,
Hey.
"Ah, gross, man."
And then he's like, classic me, you know, that troublemaking pet character that I've been this entire movie. Just kidding, I've been a fucking relatable high school student.
And then he winks at the camera and it cuts to credits.
Oh, that
And that's
movie.
Marmaduke.
That's the movie about Marmaduke.
The big dog.
The big dog from
fucks
the
things
Sunday strips.
Mind you. God, what a fucking disaster.
Ugh, that was a lot.
That was funny as hell though.
But anyways, that was the Talking Animal trilogy. Is there any other comments we have on which one was your guys' favorite?
Marmaduke.
There's some madness still.
Russell Madness?
Yeah.
Just most enjoyable to watch?
Yeah.
I think Marmaduke is just such an anomaly.
Marmaduke that's like Russell Madness. It was like
Russell Madness is because they're both like classics now.
Yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
like definite like nominees for like
okay. Here's my
top
thought
10, even
process, right?
top 5 like
Like if you're gonna watch these 3 movies, you gotta watch it in like that order because it starts out like cats and dogs. It's like okay, that's
You can
like,
even just skip Cats and Dogs. Honestly.
I like cats and dogs enough,
But,
but
like,
like once you get to the other two, it seems kind of bland. But it's like okay, now I'm like in the mood for more talking animal movies.
Yeah.
And then you watch Russell Madness, and I felt like, just me personally, I felt like by the end of Russell Madness, I was like, or like towards like the middling end of it, I was kind of like okay.
It was just the clichéness
It's
of a
just talking animal movie.
Yeah,
Like
but then the end
summed
of it was just fucking amazing.
But Marmaduke,
Marmaduke was just
But not Marmaduke.
was just the whole
like
thing.
It
was
deviates from the norm of talking animal movies,
to,
but in
to
a
go
wa-
into the norm of high school movies.
but in a way that just makes it so like weird. Just weird.
Because
It's a
the
weird
intro,
movie.
the intro even acknowledges it. Like they wanted to make a high school movie. They had the script for like a normal high school movie that was just like a rip off of Mean Girls. But then the studio was like, we need to make a Marmaduke movie.
We
But like
might as well make it
my
this.
favorite part of this is that it's like, it's like a high school movie, but then like it
it's
deviates from that
also,
just
like-
a little bit when they like get into a life threatening situation, and then on the side of that there's
It's
like
an
his owner's
adventure
problems
thriller.
who like
And then it's,
impact Marmaduke's problems, but Marmaduke's problems don't impact like Phil's problems at all. So it's like really fucking like stupid that like
And there's also like
only half
the-
of the story like in
the daughter has her own high school drama,
but like not much.
but not much at all.
And
Oh,
the,
yeah, and
the
the kid-
son,
and the
Not
very-
drama,
At the
just
very end, the boy
something.
was like a skateboarder.
the son just literally has nothing going on.
Except,
Like,
no, you know he's a skater.
No,
right?
he's a
he
skater.
likes video games. That's established. And then his dad wants him to play soccer, and he
He's
goes,
this
"Soccer's."
young
He's
Padawan.
like, "You soccer," and then
No,
you
but
go,
I-
and then he doesn't say like anything for the rest of the movie. And then
At the very end,
he
he's
has
like,
skateboard friends. Oh, and they have a third daughter, but she had like 3 scenes,
She
and she
was
said
a-
something in one of them.
She was a babby and she was adorable. And she was.
She
like,
said something. She said like "Hi, Marmaduke" once, I think,
Yeah, and she.
or she said like "Where's
Marmaduke?"
Marmaduke" or something.
Where Marmaduke?
Yeah, pretty much. Where's Marmaduke?
Where's it Marmaduke?
Where's Marmaduke?
Also, he's also called Marmaduke at one point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
By
Bosco
Bosco.
calls him Marmaduke.
Bosco, like at the very end.
Yeah, if it isn't Marmaduke.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how
okay.
it goes. That was good
Yeah,
movies.
that's fantastic.
That was so.
Fun.
That was dense. Marmaduke is so dense.
Marmaduke has so much in it that it's like, it's
It's jammed. There's just so much like.
you don't
To
like have
say
the
about it.
opportunity to be bored.
There's
I
no.
feel.
There's no breathing room.
Yeah, there's no breathing rooms that you can be like, this is boring to me now. It's
Yeah.
just it just keeps going.
It's just an
It doesn't
onslaught.
stop. And Russell Madness is kind of the same way, but then there's the part where like he does have like 4 fights in a row, and at that part I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And
But like after that part, it's like this is beautiful.
okay.
It's gold.
Well, that concludes that. I would say.
Yeah, I think so. That
Max,
was-
any final words?
Any final words, Max?
No.